To make concern, it's a cool podcast. Listen with your friends or listen with your dog, man. Subscribe today or I'll be in your closet. To make concern, that's a really cool podcast. Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of To Make Concern. We are back once again with another episode for y'all. My name is Will, and the dude to my right is Steven, and we are the hosts of an amazing podcast known
Did
as
you just assume that I'm a dude in 2024?
Yes, I did. You got a problem with that?
I actually identify as.
No, you don't.
I'll have you know that I identify as
No, you don't.
Okay. Okay.
Imagine if I just went up to someone and it's like, actually, I identify as, and I just cut it off and I just say, no, you don't. just to see their reaction.
Just be like, you identify as nothing. What you identify as is irrelevant to me. I'm still going to call you a stupid idiot either way.
Yes.
That's what I identify as. I identify as a stupid idiot.
Bang a star as always. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. If you've never seen the podcast before, this is where I bring up topics that my co-host Steven, the indeterminate gender, he will respond to, and he may not know what I'm talking about. I may not even know what I'm talking about, but you know, at the end of the day, we're just here for some fun banter, intriguing conversations, just overall entertainment for y'all.
And if you have seen the podcast before, you may recognize this familiar location, the name of which you can see directly behind me.
You know there's going to be a special episode when Steven busts out the Steven's Corner.
Yep, and that's right. And with Steven's Corner, you guys know what comes. This video is powered by HyperX, the official peripheral provider of the Auburn University Student Center Game Room. It's been a while since I've had to say that one.
It's really killing me.
Killing me. Will is choking on the plug.
I've mentioned this before. I have a HyperX microphone now,
yep.
which I bought completely oblivious to the fact that it was HyperX. I didn't even pay attention to what I was buying. I was like, ooh, microphone. Buy. Let's buy it.
So Will is also unofficially supporting HyperX.
Sponsored by HyperX.
Yes.
That's basically I gotta put up the HyperX logo somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was doing at the beginning of the episode. I was putting the HyperX logo in a very annoying spot in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
It'll probably be moved on the final episode when it comes out because Will has to fit it in with like the graphic that he has for the background of the episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I probably should do? We talked about this before the episode started, about me making a new graphic.
Yeah.
With the new graphic, I should just have the HyperX logo already on it.
Yeah, because like anytime I'm using the graphic, I'm gonna be in here anyway. So
yes. Yeah.
I just put it up in like the one of the top corners so it's visible on the camera.
Well, you know what? What if the next graphic? The next graphic is just the HyperX logo, nothing else.
There we go. Then they'll get their plug.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not gonna do that because I hate HyperX, despite the fact that they've done literally nothing to me that's negative.
Well, so what did my literal response to that was, what did HyperX do to you? Even though you just answered that question.
Yes. It's one of those irrational like things that I hate. It's just like there's no logical reason, no rational reason for me to hate it, but I just do because it's funny. It's just a funny concept for me to go this hard on this random electronics company.
Anyway, I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story to kick the episode off. And that story is going to start at about 4 something this afternoon when I was at the airport.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Before you tell this, what day is it today? The viewers must know so that they have the proper context.
I almost forgot to mention, it is currently August 20th in the year of our Lord 2024 at 8:36 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Yes,
on Tuesday.
We're recording a late episode today. We're
going back to the night schedules.
Yeah, we're going back to the night
summer
schedule.
Noon crap.
Mostly because both of us are now in college, so we have classes to work around and all that.
Yeah, at the time of recording, my classes start tomorrow, so I'm going to be treating this episode as kind of like a group therapy session.
Group therapy with two people.
Yeah, Steven's going to be the therapist, but he'll also project his frustrations with the academics.
And how does that make you feel?
Doesn't make me feel good, man. Not good in the slightest.
I'm noticing that there could be some repressed emotions from trauma that you could have experienced in the past.
Over the summer, I like to repress the emotions of having to take out an assignment that I forgot to do the other night. Thus, me having to come up with an excuse for why I don't have it.
And how does that make you feel?
I gotta write something on a piece of paper, and I don't have a pencil. I just take.
Anyway, now that you know the proper context.
The therapist was like, anyways, whatever, your time's up. Get out.
Unless you got any more money for me, then we can continue.
I mean, that's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah. Anyway, now that you guys have the proper.
Yeah, go ahead and tell your story, Steven.
Now that you guys have the proper context as to what day it is and when we're recording this, my story starts at approximately 4 whatever I forget this afternoon when I was at the airport. For the purposes of the flight training that I do, that I've probably talked about so many times and we've made so many jokes about at this point.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. And we were supposed to be done at 4:20 or no, 6:20. Like
20.
Yeah, haha, funny. So the lesson was supposed to be over at 6:20, and then my plan was to leave and then go home so I could change and like put my stuff down so I didn't have to bring it with me, and then come back to campus to get into Steven's corner so I could record an episode. But first of all, this instructor has no idea how to. It's a different instructor, by the way. But he has like no idea how to keep track of time at all, and so we went until like 6:50 something, like almost 7 o'clock. And so I'm literally like, when I texted Will at 7 saying we were gonna have to push the episode back, I was literally just walking out of the airport at that point, going to my car. So I drove home and I got my stuff, and it was already pretty late, and I said 7:30 because I was trying to do 7:30, but it took me longer than expected to get here because I drove to my apartment and then grabbed or put my stuff away, so I didn't have to bring it with me. And then I got on the bus to come to campus because I didn't feel like walking. And so I got here like a little bit after 7:30, so I was like, just give me 5 more minutes, bro. And Will was like, okay.
There's this country song I listen
or no,
to.
No. Hold on. I gotta pull up the Discord, the DM for reference. I gotta get the receipts here.
The receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, can we do at 7:30? And then Will said, yeah, that works. And so I didn't get there by 7:30. And so like as the bus was like arriving at the stop, I was like, I'll be there in just a minute. And Will was
just 1 minute.
And Will was like,
all it takes.
And so here's where the crazy part starts to happen. So obviously I had reserved the streaming room to be able to come in here and record. And for those of you who don't know, they actually have 2 streaming rooms here. So there's like one somewhere over there, and then there's the one I'm in. So there's 2 of them. And I had reserved the other one. And so I get here, and surprisingly, there actually wasn't someone already in it this time. That's been an issue in the past, but that wasn't actually the problem this time. So I got there, and like I did the thing. I checked in for the thing. Actually, first of all, since I had reserved it for like earlier, I had reserved it for 7, but I didn't get here until 7:30. And so the time to check in had already passed, and so the event was like automatically removed from the schedule. And so I had to create another reservation uh,
Another one.
for another time, and that was when I said, just give me 5 more minutes because I needed to create another reservation for like 5 minutes in the future so I could check
Right.
in, so I could actually check in and go into the room. So I do that, and Will's like, okay, 5 more minutes, you got it, bro.
It's at this point that I bring up the idea Auburn is trying to sabotage
Yeah,
us.
he was like, is this Auburn trying to sabotage our
Which is a
podcast
joke
again?
I've made several times at this point, to the point where
Yeah.
I'm starting to question if it's actually reality or if it's just a joke being driven into the ground.
Right. But I was doing that. So like I sat for 5 minutes and then I checked in and I went into the room, and so this was when I found out that apparently somebody has been in that other room doing probably some things they're not supposed to, cuz there's several things wrong with it, as I found out.
Not supposed to do. What does that imply?
Well, first of all, the headphones, like this pair of headphones, there's supposed to be a pair in both rooms. There's not a pair in the other room. So like they're just missing. And then one of the monitors on the PC is not working, and then the configuration of the other two was like really weird. Um, so like I didn't have headphones to listen to audio, and I didn't have like a way to do. I only had two. I mean, I don't really need more than two monitors. Basically, I didn't have headphones, but also I I joined the Discord calls because I was still gonna try to do it anyway using like the speaker audio, which would have been suboptimal. But I couldn't get the camera to work either, so I joined the
Yeah.
call and the camera was just like not working. And so I was in there, uh, and the call, yeah, um, and so I left the call. I said I was gonna go do something else. I left the call. I told Will I'm doing my best here.
Yeah.
And by my best, I mean I went out of that room. I came over here to the other stream room, which fortunately happens to also be free. And I made a third reservation. I actually had to make 3 reservations for this. I made a third reservation for this stream room to come in here and finally have a setup that like uh, actually works. And that took
Yeah.
until about 8 o'clock. So we were supposed to record the podcast at 7. I didn't even get into the room until 8. And it's now 8:46, and we're only 12 minutes in, so that kind of gives
Yeah,
you an
we're
idea.
only just now doing it.
Yeah, that's all the hoops that I had to jump through in order to make this
Yes.
episode happen.
As for me, I just sat here the entire time and I was just waiting on him, and yeah. I had no idea all of these things were happening until he told me about it.
Yeah.
It was just like yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I have
been
to say, I'm impressed with your effort. So much so that I will raise your pay wage by a single cent because of just how
Yay.
impressed I am.
Now I'm making 1 cent an hour.
Yeah, yes. Consider it earned.
So there you go. If ever you guys doubted my commitment to you, this is the links that I will go to in order to make an episode happen.
Yes. That's awesome. So now we are here, and let me start with a me talking a little bit about my college. Like me coming back, and at this point in time, everyone else, like all the regular students, have now moved back in, and so like the semester is quite literally about to start. So it's like things are rolling and everything, and our dorm room, they do this thing where they have like these decorations for like they'll have our name tags on the door that like spells out our names and like what room we're in. and it's accompanied with a decoration. And every semester is a different theme. One semester was like space. Another semester was like flowers.
In
Yeah,
space.
so, like something like that. Guess what the theme for this semester's decorations were?
What?
They were minions. You know, the yellow dudes
The
from
yellow,
Me,
the yellow pills.
the yellow pills. The yes, they they got together. They were like, "What decorations best suit our college students who are entering their adult years?" And they were like, "I know. How about we put minions up?"
Minions. Everybody loves minions.
Especially college students.
Especially
I mean, they
college
just go
students.
crazy for them, as we all know.
Yeah, it's just their absolute favorite form of media.
Yes.
As a college
We
student, I can confirm that college students love minions. So if there are any
yes.
college administrators watching this podcast by chance, just know that all of your students are automatically fans of the yellow pill guys, and you should absolutely theme all of your events around them because it will make more
Yes.
people come.
I want to do a thing where I interview, like I go out into campus and I interview people. It's like, how much do you love the minions? And just see their response.
How much do you love the minions? On a scale
Yeah.
of on a scale of 10 to 10, how much would you say?
I guess 10. It's like, yes, we got a clip
We got a clip.
to prove this thing that I don't even believe it because, on to be frank for a minute. Yeah, sorry for the coughing. I'm gonna explain the coughing in a little bit, but like, I truly don't know what the thought process truly was behind this. I mean, obviously, like Despicable Me, like the franchise, like it has entered somewhat into ironic Gen Z humor, like. But even then, like I don't see how that translated into it being a suitable decoration for a college dorm.
I don't know, man.
You know what I
This
mean?
is just another example of the older generations and the adults just having like absolutely no connection with what younger people are interested in.
Right. I mean, I get the feeling this might have been like a college student who did this, and they're the ones who's out of touch. Because, like,
which is
I don't
somehow
know.
worse because like you would expect a college
I generally
student to...
don't know. It's probably someone who like didn't give much care, or like, I don't know, like something, some BS reasoning had to go behind it. I'm sure.
Definitely. Surely there was a reason.
Yeah, whatever it is, I think it's stupid, and I wanted to talk about it. All right, so as you've been able to hear throughout these first few minutes, I have something of a coughing fit going on. I got congestion in my like throat and my sinuses and everything, and I'm trying to get it cleared out. And it's resulting in me coughing. So the other day, I went to CVS to pick up some cough drops, and while I was there, I saw someone. I was at the checkout, like getting my things checked out, put in the bag and everything. Someone walked into the CVS, went to the cashier, and they were like, do y'all have Uno cards here?"
Do y'all have Uno cards?
And the funny thing is, they did. They had Uno cards.
CVS.
So
That well, to be fair, with like I think stores like CVS have an oddly
like
wide variety of things.
they like that's they they do have like groceries, like drinks that you can pick out. They definitely do that. But out of all the places you can go to like try to find Uno cards, why would you go to CVS as your first
That's
option?
the kind of thing you just go to Walmart. Like
Yeah, I just don't get the logic of like going to a pharmacy place, even ones as mainstream as CVS, to get Uno cards. And what's funny about this is for those who've seen our shorts Oh, no. People wouldn't know this. Sorry. People who've seen our shorts know that Steven came over to my house
Yeah,
recently,
we
and while
did.
we were there,
We played
we
some
didn't
Uno,
film this. We didn't. Yeah, we played Uno, and
and I absolutely destroyed him.
yeah, the cards were biased.
Yeah,
That's what I
obviously.
believe. It's
Yeah.
just like it's almost like every game we play, it's just this bias against me.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's like it doesn't really matter the game. It's just every single game, and specifically when you and me are playing, the game
yeah,
just
and specifically
happens
when
to
I
be biased
lose,
in my
that's when it's
favor.
biased against me. Isn't that
Yeah,
so
exactly.
weird?
But like if you win, then it's not biased. That was just like
Yeah, it's like a
completely
weird half and
normal.
half almost. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very yeah.
It definitely has like nothing to do with skill or anything like that. It couldn't
Well, with Uno,
possibly.
it generally doesn't have
That's
much to do
true.
with skill. It just has to
That's
do with
true.
luck.
Yeah, Uno
I mean,
isn't
there's strategy to be. We've talked about this before about how much strategy goes into playing Uno.
not much.
Like, it's a healthy dose of like, it's like some of it is strategy, but a lot of it is based on luck and like
Yeah, the only
like the
strategy
luck with the card, like draw of the
the
card.
only strategy you can really get in Uno is like choosing when to play like your skips and your draw twos and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
there
And
was one round. Let me tell this. There was one round when I had the bright strategy
oh,
of
I remember this.
trying to
I
pick.
remember this.
I wanted to pick a +2 or +4. So it's like
Yeah, for
even if I
context,
got the card
I want to
that
give
could
context to
draw,
this. I want to give context to this for people who might not know. So, official Uno rules are if you don't have a card that you can play in your hands, then you draw a card and then that's your turn. We were playing based on a house rule of Will's where if you can't play a card, you basically keep repeatedly
keep
drawing
drawing.
cards until you get
Yes.
one that you can play. And so what Will did is he basically wanted to like get a draw four or a wild, and so he acted like he didn't have any cards to play and just kept drawing. I think he must have drawn like 20 or 30 cards
Very
trying to
something
get
like
one.
that.
And then he said the turn after, he was like, so this may have been a little bit of a bad idea.
I was banking on I was banking on there being a +4 at the top of the pile, which there wasn't. It was a gamble that backfired on me.
Yeah.
And safe to say, I lost that round.
Yeah. It would have been pretty funny if you ended up winning.
Yeah, that would have been the ultimate Uno reverse
Yes.
moment.
The ultimate Uno reverse moment.
Yeah.
I think a funny house rule would be like being able to play an Uno reverse on top of a draw two or a draw four, and make the person who played it have to draw the cards instead, because that's just how
Yes.
the Uno reverse works.
Or how about someone places their last card and wins the game, but then someone plays an Uno reverse and the wins reverse back to them.
Yes. Yes.
How funny would that be?
I won. No, you don't.
Reverse, your win is mine now.
But then, if somebody else has a reverse, they can play the reverse on top of the reverse, and the win reverts to them.
Well, no, if you win, that makes you have no more cards to play.
Aw.
Yeah. Or yeah. So that's that. Alright. I wanted to talk about those shorts we made.
Yeah.
The two of them
There's
were made on
two.
my birth. Yeah.
Will
They
takes
were
his
made on my.
first shot. That's the only spoiler you
Yeah,
get.
that was the first one we made, and I just had the funny idea of like, since I was turning 21, a big thing a lot of people do is like take their first shot of alcohol. So I wanted to open up the short, being like, I'm going to take my first shot today, seeing how I'm 21 now, and then have the camera zoom out, be like, I'm talking about a gun here.
Yeah, you should go watch the short. Well, Will kind of just spoiled it if you haven't seen the short, so
Yeah,
sorry
but
about that,
it's just
chat.
like,
But if you still want to go watch it, Then
But yeah, the main reason why I wanted to make that was because like one of my relatives who sent me a happy birthday gift, he was like, "Now remember, don't drink alcohol. We don't do that in this family." I was like, "Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah."
we don't drink in this family.
Yeah, yeah, that's how my family goes. They're not a big fan of alcohol.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, what if I sent up this video of me saying, "I'm gonna take my first shot,"
I'm gonna take
and
my first shot.
and they're gonna be like, "No, Will, what about
Don't,
what we told you?"
Will. No,
And that clarifies
I'm
it
imagining.
clarifies what type of shot I'm taking, and
Yeah,
then they're like, "Oh, that's
I'm imagining someone watching, like someone in your family watching that who's like against
yeah."
alcohol, and you say, "I'm gonna take my first shot," and they're like, "Wait, no, no, don't do it, Will, don't do it," and then you zoom out and pick up the gun. You're like, "So anyway," and they're like, "Oh, that's fine."
It's only a gun.
It's only a
Yeah.
gun. Couldn't be as bad as alcohol.
Yeah, it was very clearly a Nerf gun, but I wish I had a prop gun that looked like a real gun. That would have made the joke
He
10
put
times funnier.
a real gun sound effect over the Nerf gun shooting.
Yeah. And then the second short was a callback to a short you made, where you basically is like, Will always talks about hurting me and stuff. Like, and the joke of
For
that
like
one was,
dropping nukes on my house, you know, the usual stuff.
yeah, the joke of this particular short was you were gonna walk around my house and you were like, I laugh off the things that Will says, but like he generally scares me sometimes. And then you trip over my corpse that's left over from the other short.
Yeah.
And that's how these two shorts connect. Like you gotta watch them together in order for it to make sense.
Yes. It's like he even like did it, and like he like intentionally laid down in the exact same position that he
Yes.
had been in from like the other short. It was very funny.
Yeah.
We're creating the To Whom It May Concern cinematic universe.
The TWIMC CU.
Yes.
Well, that's the title of this episode. Just TWIMCCU.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, that's what we were up to. All right, so I had a bit of a kind of a shower thought. I didn't think of this
A
in the shower, but
thought. Then how is it a shower thought, Will? Explain
but
that.
but it was just type of thing. I was like sitting by myself, just like thinking about random stuff, and then I thought about this. So Steven,
Yeah.
when you hear the word ticket, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Like either like something that lets you get into something or something that you get for speeding. That's like the two kinds of ticket.
Exactly. And I'm here to ask, what's up with that? Why do we have a thing that refers to both?
I don't know, because the English language is weird. And this is just one example. There are many examples of words like that in the English language where they have multiple different meanings. Um, I
Right.
there's a lot of them. That's just how the English language works because
Yeah,
as
but
we
like
all know, English is the greatest language in the world and is absolutely the easiest to
if
learn
you
and
want, yeah, it's the
understand.
greatest language if you want to find a language that confuses you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Give me one
Literally
second. I'm
literally
gonna get out of this chair real quick. I'm gonna get on my bed because, like I said, I've been sitting in this chair for a while, so I've been getting uncomfortable. So I want to sit on my bed.
my
More cushion.
bad.
Yeah. All right. Continue.
Yeah, literally anyone who's like doesn't have English as their native language who has learned English, literally anyone will tell you that English is like the hardest language to learn.
Right.
Actually most
And
most
it's somehow the most popular, which is weird to me.
yeah, well, I think it's just because of the existence of the US and like how big of a name the US is in the world and the fact that we filthy Americans very
It's
rarely
filthy Americans.
yeah, we very rarely learn a second language. And there's a really interesting geographical reason for it. It's because the US is so big that many people who live in the US don't really leave the country as much because we just have so much US in the world. And so Americans,
so much America in the world.
yeah, and so Americans don't really have as much of a reason to learn a second language. Whereas when it comes to people from areas of the world where countries are closer together, like Europe, for example, where you can travel to like a lot of different countries that speak a lot of different languages in honestly a smaller area of the world than what the U.S. is.
Yeah, like think Europe. Like you could
Yeah.
go to Germany, you could go to Italy, you could go to
So there's a lot
Poland, you
of
could go to Italy.
there's a lot more language diversity within
I
that
almost said
region of the
Italy
world.
twice.
And
You go
so
Italy, you can also go Italy.
and so because of there being more language
Yeah.
diversity in that area of the world, people generally know second languages more often. And so because of that, it's very common to learn for people that are not natively English to learn English as a second language because it's so
Yeah.
commonly spoken around the world.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point.
And also because it's pretty much the only language you're going to hear if you go to America.
Yeah. I only speak one language, it's American language. Yeah. That reminds me of a meme I saw, or I guess it's not even considered a meme. It was something that was taken from like a newspaper, from like I think it was Japan or something. Basically, it was an outsider's view of what America looks like.
Yeah.
And
I always find it funny because you'll see memes of like people from Europe like just being absolutely bamboozled by how people from the US go on vacation in the US.
I'm not necessarily talking about that. I'm talking about like how Japanese people, they take a look at American culture and they interpret it like basically like through their lens. And what was really fascinating to me was there was one that like described both the like liberal side of America and the conservative side of America. They portrayed both sides, but both of them were like portrayed with some level of like dignity, as if to say like there was no negative or positive bias to either one, to either portrayal.
Which is of course an argument that we're not going to be getting into in detail because we don't like to be political on this podcast. But like, you do have a point. Like, basically being able to see our culture like outside of like the political division, which political division is one of the main things that characterizes America. So I mean, there's that, but
just saying that,
yeah,
like it was very it was very fascinating to just see that, and it was just like I just felt like mentioning it.
Yeah,
you know.
And if you think about it, we kind of do a similar thing with other cultures and countries of the world.
Right. Yeah, we definitely do. Like, I feel like America has a very simplistic view on like.
We do, yeah.
They also give very simplistic interpretations of other cultures.
I find that we tend to refer more often to larger areas like Europe and Asia and like South America and Africa.
Right.
Which are basically continents, but the point being that we kind of generalize areas that have similar cultures, even though there are differences in culture. Like, for example, Chinese culture and Japanese culture are different, but we'll often collectively refer to them as just Asian culture.
Somewhat, yeah. It's not always the case, but that's relatively kind of the case because it's just like,
yeah.
I feel like it's just our way of like trying to, like in entertainment and like in media, it's kind of our way of trying to like show it to Americans in a way that's not confusing for them.
Yeah. Because let's be honest, it goes back to the example of America just being a huge country and a lot of Americans just being like completely oblivious to the world outside of America.
Yeah, not having as much awareness or knowledge on other cultures, or at the very least, not as much first-hand knowledge. Like they can learn about it on Google or like in school or wherever, but like it's entirely different thing to like actually go out and visit those places.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a great point there. So but, but anyways, back to the ticket thing. What I find hilarious about this particular thing is how ticket can refer to something that's positive, like concerts, entertainment, whatever, and it can also refer to something negative, like speeding violations, having to pay a fine or whatever, which is negative. And I just find it funny, like this one word can encapsulate two different things, both positive and negative. Like, I don't know. It's just fascinating to me. Okay, Steven, we get it. You agree. I would love to see someone walk by while you were doing that.
That would be funny.
Just like trying to take in what they're saying. They're seeing a guy with blonde hair doing a headbang.
Yes,
in front
because
of a screen,
obviously
and the screen behind them has an inverted image of two letters that is,
yeah, we talked about this. We talked about this. I feel like mentioning it because it's been a while for our new viewers. But the graphic behind me. So Discord. Okay, first of all, context on how I record these episodes. What we do is Will and I are in a Discord call, and basically I have our cameras set to where they're like two windows of the same size, and then I full screen it and then move the mouse off of it so you can't see like the disconnect options. So basically what you see is just the full screen Discord thing, and I basically just screen record that. The problem with that is that when Discord is doing camera things, it's a little weird how they do it. So what gets sent to the other person when you're doing a video call is the correct camera image of what the camera is actually seeing. But the preview that Discord shows you on your end of your camera is actually reversed. So
it's inverted.
Yeah. So basically,
so, for example, on my end, the Falcons logo I have is inverted.
Yeah.
So the F looks
So
weird.
the consequence of that is basically because I'm screen recording my preview of my camera, the screen recording is seeing the inverted camera image, and the consequence of that is the inverted camera image is what gets recorded onto the episode. So if I had the regular Steven's Corner graphic on this screen back here, it would be inverted on Discord, and you guys would be seeing it backwards on the episode. So what happens is Will basically made a reversed version of the graphic for me to put up here so that when Discord inverts it, it makes it go to the correct orientation. And so when it goes to the Discord preview and recorded to the episode, it's the right way around for you guys. So you guys are seeing the correct graphic. Will, on his end, when he's looking at my camera, is actually seeing the inverted graphic.
Yes.
So the reason I say that is basically because this particular stream room is the one that has the window facing the hallway, and we've talked about this before on previous episodes.
Yes.
But basically,
what's funny this time around is you can actually see the reflection.
Yeah.
So if you want to go through this episode again and just pay attention to that reflection and see how many people walk by.
Yeah.
It's just like.
But it's often funny because when people walk by the window, because this screen is behind me, you can very clearly see what's on the screen through the window.
Yes.
And so people are seeing a apparently backwards graphic on the screen behind me, and I can see how it would look a little bit strange. It definitely does attract some attention as people go by.
Yeah, it's just like, what is that? Why? Just why?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little fun anecdote for y'all. So final topic I'm going to talk about. So you're familiar with ketchup, right?
No, Will, I have no idea what ketchup is. Please enlighten me.
You know it's gonna be a good topic when I gotta ask someone, do they know what ketchup is?
Yeah.
But more specifically, the brand of Heinz. Heinz ketchup.
Heinz. Yeah, Heinz is like the main ketchup brand as far as I know.
Yeah, the mainstream ketchup brand. They've been running a unique marketing campaign.
I think I may
I
have
don't know-
actually I may have seen this, but I'm gonna let you explain it so I can make sure I know
yes.
what I'm thinking of.
So they've been running a few ads now that's talking about like there's one ad I saw, which is basically a montage of just a bunch of people stealing ketchup, like stealing ketchup packets, just stealing stuff. And like the way the commercial goes, it's almost like congratulating the people stealing it because it's like, yeah, they're choosing Heinz. They know what's good ketchup to steal. And I just have to ask, what kind of message are you sending to us?
Heinz officially endorses stealing ketchup, but only
As
if it's
long
the
as it's
Heinz
their
brand.
ketchup. As long as it's their product that they're stealing, they're okay with it.
Yes. So that
And I
so
get that the commercial. I get that this idea is supposed to be kind of tongue in cheek, but like I just can't help but think like they're the most like what I'm trying to say is the most I don't know like it's just a weird a weird idea to like market it this way. It's like this is the type of ketchup you can steal.
this ketchup's so good you want to steal it. That seems like
Yes.
that seems like it's probably the message they're trying to send is like it's so good it makes you want to steal it. But even then, it's still a pretty weird
Yeah.
message to be sending in a commercial.
It's like stealing ketchup from other brands, just awful, absolutely terrible. Stealing
How
ketchup
could
from
you?
us because of how good our product is.
Ooh,
We take it as a
now
compliment.
we're talking.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it's probably just a case of us taking the commercials too literally, but I just find it funny this interpretation of just like the company endorsing people to steal their product. As long as it's their product,
As long as it's
okay
there,
with it.
that's like saying like that's like Pop Tarts coming out with a commercial of like people just stealing Pop Tarts because like I I've probably never mentioned this before. So, little fun fact about me: I am a college student, and that means that I am broke. So I buy cheap like
Fascinating.
knockoff brand groceries most of the time, and that includes buying the like store brand version of Pop Tarts instead of the name
Oh
brand.
yeah.
So
What aren't they called something else
yeah, it's like
rather than Pop Tarts?
well,
Because Pop Tarts is the brand name,
yeah, Pop
but the
Tarts is a
actual
brand
product they're
name.
selling,
The
like,
ones
it's called something else.
the ones that I buy, they're actually from Aldi. The ones that I buy, they're called toaster tarts.
Toaster tarts.
Yeah, the official term for that particular food item is a toaster pastry.
Toaster pastry.
Yeah, that's what the actual food is. Pop Tarts is just the name brand. Um,
Yeah.
so
Go on.
yeah, so I pretty much buy those off brand. So it'd be like Pop Tarts coming out with an ad showing like it. I can imagine how the commercial would go. It would be them walking into a grocery store and they go like down the breakfast aisle and they walk. It shows them walking past like a bunch of like the store brand Pop Tarts, just like a few shelves of store brand, and just walking past them. And then they get to the Pop Tart brand and then they get all excited and they start stealing only the Pop Tarts. And at the end of the commercial, it just cuts to a view of the aisle after they're gone, and all the Pop Tarts are gone, but the store brand ones are still there.
And then Pop Tarts like Pop Tarts. If you're gonna break the law, do it for our products.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, yeah, I just find that funny. Just like, and we can extend this past food. Just like, imagine a clothing brand
Yeah.
like Louis Vuitton or something being like releasing a commercial that's like, you know those videos of like the Black Friday, like the store opens up and everyone rushes
Yeah,
in.
yeah, I've seen those.
And like some of them like steal. There's like they just grab it and they just run out. Like, imagine
I feel like
commercial.
Black Friday commercials are like the most accurate commercials because the store literally is an all-out brawl on Black Friday. If you've never been to a store on Black Friday, save yourself and don't. But if you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those
Yes.
commercials are accurate.
And if you're thinking of getting a job in part time, know to not have those days be the ones that you work.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you like ahead of time make it clear that you're not working those days.
Yeah, because
Like, the earlier you get to it, the better.
Yep. Because eventually everybody will say they don't want to work, and eventually they'll have to force people to work. So don't be one of those unlucky few.
I imagine it's gonna be like like getting a reservation at a restaurant. It's like the sooner you do
Yeah.
it, the better.
Pretty much, yeah. That's kind of how time off for days like that works. You gotta get it early.
Yeah. Just say like, oh, I'm going on vacation. Like, obviously, it's gonna be a BS reason. Like, they're gonna know, but at the very least, try to frame it in a way that's like,
I'm going to visit my family in like
my
insert state that is nowhere close to here. So like if we
my little cousin's guitar recital.
Yeah, I could go to my little cousin's guitar recital.
Cleveland.
I'm going to my sister's cousin's aunt's girlfriend's brother's daughter's wedding.
This is like, it's like I'm celebrating the birthday of my father's uncles, brothers, sons, cousins, friend, boyfriends, girlfriend, sons, something. I don't know. I lost track.
Yes.
Yeah.
The title of this episode is going to be How to Avoid Working on Black Friday.
Yeah. You know what the other potential video title is? The potential video title is going to be, this episode almost didn't happen.
Yes.
And then in parentheses, it's just like, but it did. So
as a reference to all of the behind the scenes stuff that went on before we were able to actually film this episode.
Yes. All right. So that's basically all I got for this episode. It's kind of a shorter one, mainly because I'm just done. I just want to be done with this episode.
Mentally checked out.
One more thing I'm going to talk about. I don't think we really got to talk about this, or at least not in the detail that I wanted to, but today is Tuesday, and tomorrow is going to be my first day going back to class. Like, we mentioned it briefly at the start, but I just want to get into it. So, Steven, how were your first days? Because this is your second or third or something?
Yeah, this is my second day. So it's the first day of most college classes will be either on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or on Tuesday and Thursday. That's how most college classes work. So today being Tuesday, this is like the first. I've still only been to each of my classes one time so far.
Right. You think it's gonna be a good semester? Or?
I'm really hoping it's gonna be a good semester. I mentioned this to Will in DMs before, but for those of you who don't read our DMs, I am.
Because why would you? How would you even get access to it unless you're a hacker?
Don't answer that question. I am taking public speaking, which is a class that everyone loves, obviously.
Oh, yeah. When he told me that, I was like, you'll be fine. You've been practicing public speaking.
Yeah, he was like,
you've
been speaking. Hold on. Let me pull up the receipts.
I said, you've been speaking to the public in this Discord call.
To the
public.
Let me pull up the receipts.
Public speaking.
He says, you've spoken to the public for 40 plus episodes on the podcast. I'm sure you'll be fine. And my response was, but that's different. Because it is like in here, I don't have the sense of anyone watching me because even though these videos,
I'm watching you.
I
I'm watching everything you do.
even though these videos are going online and getting uploaded for people to hear about,
Yeah.
like because there's not people like actively watching as we record them, I don't really get that direct sense of being watched. Like to me, I'm just sitting in a room by myself talking to a camera, and Will
Right.
to an extent, but.
But to an extent, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Um, um,
Maybe. Yeah, you're messing up. So maybe you are going to be bad at public speaking. I mean, you're going to do amazing. I gotta encourage you. Not be honest. All right. But nah.
yeah.
I took public speaking before. Like, I think freshman year I took it.
Wow,
I don't
that's
remember a whole lot about it. To be
I hear
honest.
like not well at least here like at this college which is Auburn University just to remind you, um,
Right.
because of how big the college is, a lot of people don't actually get like a lot of people physically can't get public speaking their first year just because like the classes fill up too quickly.
Right.
Because the way it works, and I don't, it might be this way for other colleges too, I don't know, but the upperclassmen, like the seniors and juniors, they are allowed to like register for their classes before the freshmen and the sophomores are. And so,
Really.
yeah.
I don't know if that. I think that. I think at my at my college, it depends on how many hours you have, or like how much credit you already have. I think it
Yeah.
depends on that.
What are your thoughts, chat? What does your college do? Leave a comment and let
Yeah,
us
because
know.
as we all know, everyone who watches this or listens to this goes to college.
If you are in college, leave a comment. If
Yeah,
your college does this like registration priority type
yeah.
thing. But that's how it works here. And the result of that is that for classes that are very like well, for because public speaking is a class that everyone has to take, because classes that are very I guess I'll say popular like that is that
Most common, I guess
yeah,
you could say, the most common.
most commonly taken classes, uh,
Yes.
even with like we have like 72 public speaking sections like on campus that are offered. So there's like a lot of them,
Wow.
but even with that many, like there's still uh usually the freshmen and sophomores. Well, to be fair, I'm a sophomore and I was able to get public speaking, but freshmen very often freshmen very often aren't actually able to get it just because they're all full by the time they get to register for classes.
Yeah, that's definitely not like that, Jack say. Public speaking it just kind of takes place in one classroom. Not even like a big we actually don't have a whole lot of those like traditional college rooms that
Like
you like imagine.
lecture hall type things.
Like lecture halls. We
Yeah.
have a lot more just regular classrooms than we do lecture halls.
Yeah,
I know
I have two classes this semester that are in lecture halls.
yeah. I got I'd have to go to the classes to know for sure, but I know at least half of them are definitely, but like in classroom settings. And there's a couple that I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to. But yeah, that's about all I got for y'all. Thanks for watching, and we'll try and figure out when we're gonna record next, because like I
Yeah.
said, when school gets started and like other stuff
On the
comes
next
into play,
episode
it's
of To Whom
just
It May Concern, Will be a broken shell of his former self, crushed by the weight of college
trust me,
classes.
it's gonna start. By the time we get to October, that's when I'm gonna become the broken shell.
Yeah.
Just you watch.
He's gonna be crushed by the weight of his college classes and the
I'm
depression that
literally
they
just
carry
gonna
with
be
them.
I'm literally just gonna be crumbled up, just like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like in weird like weird body proportions.
They'd be like, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of To My Concern. We are back once again with another episode for you guys.
I don't know why you make me sound like Goofy.
That was not even close to.
Hey, everybody.
Zoink, wait, no, that's the wrong one.
That's Shaggy.
Yeah, they
Zoink Scoops. This college stuff has really got me cracked under pressure.
They sound basically the same anyway, so.
Cracky, you all look so cool. What? Yeah.
Yeah, a reminder that I've never actually seen an episode of Scooby-Doo, so.
Anyways, as always, please like and subscribe for another episode of To Whom It May
Concern.